Hello, everybody. How's it going? Tuesday, June 16th, 2020. And since it's a Tuesday, it's time to check in. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. Good spirits, good health? Good spirits, good health? I really hope so. I really hope so. If you're finding, if you're having trouble, make sure you're reaching out for help. And if you know somebody who could use a little help, maybe reach out to those folks. Remember, this is a reminder that we need to stay connected. We need to stay connected. Make sure we're checking in on each other, and helping each other out. Through difficult times, and that's regardless of what's going on in the world. Whatever, there are people out there who for them, life is a challenge. Life is a challenge, and if you're one of those people, once again, make sure you're reaching out for some help. Talk to somebody, find somebody you trust, and just share what you're feeling. Share what you're feeling. Message. Today's message. Today I wanted to share a message about some. I say trigger words, because it gets my attention. But in today's society, when you hear triggered, it means something completely different. But for me, these little words, they get my attention, raise flags, and it means that it's time to get active, it's time to get moving, it's time to get talking and getting things shaken up. So here are those words. The first one is can't. Right? This one was embedded in me since I was tiny tot. My dad used to tell me all the time, there's no such thing as can't. He'd always say that. No such thing as can't. Don't worry about can't. Don't worry about can't. And it's kind of those talks and those the affirmation of that message over time. It kind of stuck with me, and throughout my life, he has been, I've proven time and again that guy was right. Right? That guy was right. There is no such thing as can't. And when I hear can't, right? When I hear can't, or if I think can't, immediately, it's a trigger word. It makes me respond. And I want to try to share with you that to pay attention to that stuff, if you start hearing or thinking the word can't, it usually means some sort of action is required on your part or somebody else's part, because the word is it gets used, and it's trying to prevent you or something else from changing, right? Especially if you're in the process of trying to better your situation, whatever that is, whatever that means for you, whatever your situation is, and you're trying to improve. If you come across the word can't, or if you think about the word can't, which should start getting removed from your vocabulary, especially if you're in the process of improving. When that word comes about, it should be a trigger word. It should motivate you to action, right? It's like situational awareness radar is up, and it's like, okay, why did that come about? I need to explore that, and I need to examine that. I need to dissect that. I need to scrutinize that. I need to look at all the reasons why that one word popped up, because I need to get past it. I need to get it out of the way. And sometimes, like I said, it can be external. Somebody has said it to you, or it can be internal. You thought it to yourself, and it's like, nope, that's not going to work. I've got to figure out how to address that so I can remove it as an obstacle, right? Because that's what it is. It's an obstacle. So that's can't. The other thing is, it's a phrase, and it's always been that way. Right? Have you heard this before? Right? It's always been that way. Boom. That's another trigger word there. This is a trigger phrase, right? Situational awareness radar up. And it's like, okay, this is, maybe it, whatever it is, has always been that way. But if it's not working for you or a group of people, then something needs to change. So it's time to get active. It's time to get moving. It's time to get thinking. See if you can work your way through that issue, whatever it is. So Yeah, it's always been that way. That should be a red flag. That should go way high up in the air and say, okay, this is a process. Maybe if it doesn't work and if it's always been that way, that means it's always been that way, needs to change to something different. When you hear that phrase, and a lot of people use it, it should be a trigger word. It's a buzzword. Bzz, oh, something needs to change. Something needs to be looked at. Something needs to be scrutinized. Something needs to be critiqued. Something needs to be worked through. Something needs to be dissected. You know, yeah, that's from experience. From experience, typically it's always been that way. It's like the lazy man's way of saying, "Get out of here, kid. I don't need." we don't need change, because change is scary. It can be unnerving for some people. Some people are set in their ways, mostly older folks, they're set in their ways, and they don't want things to change because the way things are works for them. But when the new wave of people come through, right? Talking to young folks mostly, right? As you proceed through life, start encountering these old heads, and then that phrase comes about. It's always been that way. But boy, I tell you what, if it doesn't work for me, we're gonna make some changes. That's experience talking. I've moved a lot of bases, a lot of places, whatever, and it was a common thing to walk into those types of situations. It's always been that way. It's like, okay, well, it's not working for me, or it's not working for this group of people, so we need to look we need to re-examine it, and then re-examine it. Don't stand by and wait for somebody else to do it. Get in there and do it. Anyway, so that was what was it? I said can't, and then I said it's always been that way, and the other thing is, what was the other thing? It was like, there's no chance, right? It's impossible. There it is, impossible. Impossible. That's another form of saying can't. That's another form of saying can't, or won't, or too much trouble for me. That sort of stuff. This is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. And you know what? That is actually another another nugget. It came from my upbringing, right? My dad, once again, he drilled that in me. Nothing is impossible. And you know what? He was right. I've proven it time and time again. Don't ever believe that anything is impossible. There's no such thing. There is no such thing. Right? Especially if you're in the business of trying to improve your situation. Once again, I use the word situation because it's like it's a blanket neutral term that could mean anything. Whatever your situation is, you specifically, whatever it is, then I'm talking about that. If you're in the process of improving yourself, improving your situation, whatever it may be, you run into impossible. Right? This is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Another friend of mine that I spoke to, not too long ago, actually, was talking about obstacles. Right? Impossible is an obstacle. Can't is an obstacle. It's always been that way as an obstacle. Another person I spoke to recently who talked about obstacles, they said there's always a way to get around obstacles. Right? There's always a way. Right? There's not just one way. Sometimes you need to open the door and go through it, and it doesn't work that way. Sometimes you need to go around it. Sometimes you need to go over the obstacle. Sometimes you need to go under the obstacle. But there's always a way to get around obstacles, right? To get around these words, can't, impossible. It's always been that way. It needs to be taken the time to explore, right? And then, you run into the resistance of change. People, especially if you're dealing with people, you might not be dealing with people, but if you're dealing with people and you introduce change, an idea for change, this is scary for a lot of people. It's scary for me, but the thing is that, and I can really only speak for myself, when those words pop up, I get kind of excited because it means change is going to happen, because change is good. So, just throwing that out there. If you're in the process of trying to do something better for yourself, and that could be something as grand as, I don't know, President of the United States, down to you're just trying to get out of bed. it applies to everything. If you think that you can't face the world that day, not true. If that idea pops into your head, I can't face the world today, think about that, meditate on that, process that, and say, why do I feel that way? Because I can, because it is possible. Thousands of people are doing it. So why can't you? The answer is because there's something inside you that's the brain chemistry is off, something like that, and that's okay. That's okay. You sit down, you think about it, you explore it, you talk about it with somebody else, and next thing you know, can't starts to dissolve away, and now you've gone outside and you're tackling the world, right? So just keep that in mind. There's no such thing as can't. There's no such thing as impossible. There's no such thing as we've always done it that way and it's never going to change. Because I guarantee, change is inevitable. And especially for a process, a way of thinking, a way of doing things, a way of, anything. If it's always been done that way and it's not a universal. Typically, in my experience, when you talk about processes, especially, they have to change over time because people change, right? So because people change, then processes have to change. Ways of thinking have to change. Society has to change. Clothes have to change. I don't know. Hairstyles have to change because change is inevitable. So, but at the same time, change is scary. So anyway, for today's message, I just wanted to pass that along to you guys. Can't, impossible. It's always been that way. Those should be red flags. And it should be a call to action. It's like, okay, something needs to be done here. Something needs to be done here. I need to think my way through this. I need to, feel out what's going on and then take action. That's my message for today. I really hope that you are doing good. I hope that you're okay. And if you're not doing okay, send me an email. If you can't reach out to anybody, if you don't have anybody to reach out to, send me an email. Get a hold of me. If I can't help you through something, I will at least try to point you in a direction where you can find some assistance. Okay? I really appreciate you listening to this message. I hope it does somebody some good. We'll talk to you guys later. God bless.